Thanks for listening to the AZ12 Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke, joined by Jason Scheer and the best defensive backs coach in college football history, Mr. Duane Akina. Hello, Coach Akina.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We're going to talk, obviously, a lot about the roster, what you got coming in, but I wanted to start off with a memory lane thing that we'll get back to. I've always said that I thought, at my time watching Arizona football, that Chris McAllister was the best player that I've ever seen here. Talk a little bit about coaching Chris, because I know that you have some opinions on Chris.
Yeah, I think the main thing with Chris, I just had to make sure he knew what time the game was at.
Right.
I mean, he's just a unique talent. And I've been blessed to coach a lot of great football players here, Texas, Stanford. But, they're all like your children. I won't say he's the best, but he is certainly in the argument of the best player I've ever been on the field with. And now that would include, I've been on the field with the Vince Youngs and Christian McCaffreys and some guys that are some other schools. Right. But he was such a dominant football player. For a guy, they don't count his interceptions in bowl games.
Right.
I mean, he had 3 there, 21 interceptions in 3 years for a cover corner. So back in the day, what I would do with Chris Mack is, how can I keep him at the point of attack? Because otherwise players like that get bored. They get thrown away from them. So when we were playing David Boston, at the time considered the best wide receiver in the country at Ohio State. So I put Chris on him. I would match Chris with him and take the middle safety in the other direction, take all the hole players, take everybody opposite, so the quarterback's reads would always have to come back. Say with Darrell Lewis, what I might do is bracket the other team's best receiver and bracket the other team, and then bracket their second best receiver, and then put D. Lou on number 3. And he's a Pro Bowl player. Right. And now I'm making guys throw the ball to their third option and take 1 and 2 away. Here's a heck of a story. We're playing Ohio State in the horseshoe. Ellerson's up in the box, okay? And Chris and Boston are having a battle. David Boston was 6'3", 232, coming out of college. And so Rich goes down, hey, what did the tight end do on that play? I said, see, Chris, Rich, I'm not sure, but this McAllister-Boston matchup is a hell of a deal to watch. He said, can I get some help down there? Okay, I'll go back to work now. But Chris Mack, 21 interceptions. I read that. I couldn't remember him ever dropping a ball, which is a unique gift. His ball skills were unbelievable. So even Cade McNown in 98, 83% of his throws went from the left guard over. Right. So there, it wasn't put him on Freddie Mitchell or Paulie Dixon, because they were 2 great receivers. I just played them at right corner. I was going to be interested to see what McNown was going to do. And sure enough, he threw away from his dominant hand and had his worst statistical game of the season. That's the respect that Chris Mack had.
Well, I remember, too, just watching him, I mean, especially showing up at Camp Cochise, he was just such a specimen. You didn't see corners like that at that size, legitimately 6'2", and he was a good kick returner. The first time he caught against Hawaii, the kick return for a touchdout. He was everything.
Well, I keep saying, if anybody here belongs in the Hall of Fame, I just had one from Texas get in, Michael Huff. But Chris Mack, when you look at it, that 1 year, only guy to ever return an interception for a touchdown, kickoff for a touchdown, punt return for a touchdown, dominant player all around, blocked a punt, just a phenomenal athlete. They don't come around much, but the thing that makes all the great ones that I've had unique is the competitive spirit. And I use his clip in one-on-one against Northcutt. And I build all these what I call gold reel tapes. I just show all the players, this is what it looks like. If you want to be a great one, this is what it looks like. So Chris in a one-on-one with Northcutt, it's a sluggo. Well, he slips and falls down on the 50-yard line. He is up. And this is spring practice where he is the best defensive back in the country. And he touches Northcutt before he gets through the goal line. So that's my gold reel on effort. I took that to Texas. Okay. And now I got clips of Michael Griffin, Earl Thomas, Michael Huff. All right. Aaron Ross, all on that same run. I take that to Stanford. I got Justin Reed, but it all started with Chris Mack because I was selling. This is the best DB in the country, and this is how we go.
How mad? Let me ask you this: how mad were you when they took Dennis away from you? Because you had Dennis in the defensive backfield. You couldn't have been happy about that, Coach.
Now you are a fan. They didn't take him away. I gave him because you know who the
Oh.
strong safety was as a backup was Trung Candidate.
Trung Candidate. Yeah, you also had Kelvin Efon back there at one point.
Had
too.
Kelvin Efon. But
Yeah.
we were so dominant in the secondary there, we needed points. Yeah. So against Illinois, Northcutt had 2 interceptions and 4 touchdowns. And then Northcutt senior year, because they had Kareem Kelly and all those guys at SC. God, back in the day, we used to play at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And so Dennis, now I just brought Dennis over on third down plays, just man coverage. So when we'd go one-on-one during the week, I'd just tell Dennis, come get a rep every now and then. We had to put, I think, 4 bags of fluid in him after that SC game. I had to go apologize to his parents. I said, God, I am so sorry, but we needed him to line up and take Kelly away. So I just played him at boundary corner when I felt third and long. And, we were going to call man coverage, get in. Yeah, he had 2 interceptions in the Illinois game, ran 1 back for a touchdown. You're good, man. You're good.
Yeah, no, I lived it. Yeah, for sure. Sure,
Coach, you mentioned this with McAllister, and I've always kind of wondered this. Is ball skills, is that natural? Or like how much can you teach just the ability to go and get the interception or just ball skills in general?
It's naturally, it's a gift, and it's a big part of my evaluation process with a defensive back. You can develop a little bit, but they got to buy into it and live it. We had a young man that had a lot of pass breakups, which people are excited about it. But, to me, that, like I shared, that's a good deal. That's a good play. The great ones finish. Right. Like I used to always say, you're dropping money all over this place, when you're doing that. One of the greatest quotes I had by this young man, Rod Babers at Texas, great cover corner for me, but ball skills was an issue. And after the Oklahoma game, he batted down a ball or 2, but he's being interviewed. And Rod Babers said, nobody catches the ball on my side of the field. Not even me.
That's awesome.
That was a classic. I couldn't stop laughing. I said, Baber, you need to, and he ended up being a 4th round pick and developed a little bit, but he just gets so nervous, when the ball is in flight.
Let me ask you this: with as protective as everybody is now about hits and whatnot, and I know you were the OC during that time, but how would you have coached Brandon Sanders in this day and age?
I used to have this top 10 big hits. And, every year we would adjust it. And like I said, that was a gold reel also.
Right.
And I quit showing that because I am about the violence of the game. You'll hear me a lot of times talk about I need a big bad wolf in the middle of the field because I want the game to start on Monday. When a receiving corps puts on one of our clips, I want them to say, dang. And if you watch the Oklahoma game, that's as good of a game by a middle safety played by Gunner. He knocked 2 of them out. Dalton and now Bob Stoops and I are really good friends, but the game plan was to get after his son because he was the dominant player. And we knocked him out twice. He tapped out. But that's a big part of the game. I don't show it as much because on exposed receivers, what I show much more now is like to the corners. When it's down, here comes the puller. When there's eyes on you, that's the real toughness now, is what I'm preaching. But God, Chuck Cecil was on that. Brandon Sanders. Here's another great story. So now I'm at Stanford. And David Shaw says, Coach, you've got this reputation of developing physical defensive backs and secondaries, how do you do it? So then I put on my physical tape.
Right.
One of the clips I don't know if you remember, is when Brandon was playing and they ran a mesh route. And part of Brandon being such a great hitter is he saw the game quickly. He could.
Is this one against Illinois?
No, this is the one that was a blitz. But this is the one against Stanford when they ran a drag right back to the field. Number 2 went away and he cut the kid in half. Okay. Right. David Shaw tells me after that play, because he was a receiver on that 94 team. He said, Coach, everybody talked about Waldrop and Bruschi. our receiving core was scared to death of Brandon Sanders.
Right.
So when that thing came across, they asked me to show that physical tape to the Stanford defense. And when this one came across, I saw it coming. I ran it back. And this one's against David Shaw. I don't think it was David coming across, but I said, this is Coach Shaw coming across the middle of the field against us back in the day, and gets cut in half. The whole room just explodes, the Stanford room, you know. But Brandon Sanders, pound for pound, him and Quandre Diggs and Darrell Lewis may have been the most physical defensive backs that I have ever lined up with.
Sure.
Coach, how important was in the day and age of transfer portal to have Dalton and Stukes return to this team?
Well, you know, I come from a different time, but I say this: the game of football has just continued to move forward. When I played, there was 2 backs in the backfield with a tight end and 2 wide receivers. Then all of a sudden, somebody thought about putting 2 receivers on the same side of the field, and then, whoa, that was revolutionary.
Right.
Now. And then somebody thought about 1 back and putting a guy in the shotgun, and was like, whoa. So you have to keep moving with the game. And the transfer portal is part of the evolution of the game that guys like myself, 45th year, I think, when I started, there was a 16 millimeter projector, you know, that you'd fall asleep in the damn staff room if the guy kept running it back with that. But the transfer portal is part of it. But there are still things, as I've shared, that are time tested. You mentioned one, physical. I talked about the other one, great effort. Do your job is now, you know, I used to talk about responsibility. You know, Belichick talked about is do your job now. You know, those things are time tested. And takeaways, guys that can hunt the ball. And that's, you see all the playoff games. Who can get the takeaways? Not only you gain an extra possession, you know, but momentum. So now the transfer portal, when guys like Stukes, guys like Genesis, Dalton, Marquise, all decide to stay, that could have gone for a bigger dollar, but they stayed because of the development and the relationship. And I still think in this day and age, and in recruiting, relationships are a big part of it. And I know you got to keep moving with the dollar and all of that. I understand that, but I'm of the school a little bit. And I think the dollar is important, but if that's the only driving factor, okay, that's a red flag for me. I want guys that are into ball, want to be developed, because the real dollar is, can you go get to where you live your childhood dream? And that is hard to do, you know.
Speaking of which,
I'm not slighting the money, but I do respect those that choose to walk away from it.
Talk a little bit about Genesis and what you're looking for in, you know, year 3 out of him. He's obviously got a lot. He's got a world of potential. What are you looking for from him, Coach?
Yeah. So we don't talk about his potential anymore.
Okay.
You know, because there is a lot of upside, however we choose to see it. But by no means is he a final product. And so the first thing we need out of that position, we need to be more physical. We need to be a better tackler and just not a great athlete. His gift is he can find the ball. And, you know, when you look at a high school tape, you just see an athlete that can just see ball, chase ball, because a lot of times that's what they are. Justin Reed was much like that. As a coach, you don't want to take all of that out of him, because he does have a gift to find the ball. But now you're in the next level where you got to be part of the structure of the defense, and you've got a job, and that's your first thing. So you got to take some of that see ball, chase ball, and there's a fine line of a coach to massage that. But eventually, as you start, you know, you can see him, I want to, you know, he's been, let's just say, encouraged not to just go out there and do his own thing. And once he starts really feeling that, then I start loosening the rope on him. But we have to be a more physical player. And that's really what Gunnar brought to the table for us. He was an incredible tackler. And that's what you use. That's what you need out of the middle safety. You got to be able to get people on the ground. Like with Justin Reed, I used to decide if it was an NFL back we were going to play, I'd play him at middle safety. If it wasn't quite the case, I may move him to nickel or the field, you know, on however, because you got to get people on the ground. So that's a big focus for Jen. outstanding athlete, but let's get a way to be more towards the final product. And he really is. He's improved every year, but we're excited about having him.
Yeah, sure.
Do you feel better about the depth in the secondary this season than last season?
Oh, for sure. We lost some critical pieces. Stooks, in a lot of ways, I said last year, best kept secret in college football. I've had a lot of great nickels. He's as good as I've been around. And he doesn't get the credit because it's not what he does isn't as flashy like Chris or some of those guys.
Right. But
intelligence, the nickel position or star, however you choose to say it, is one of the toughest positions to play in our system, whether it was at Texas or Stanford or here when I first got here. And when I moved him from corner inside, because now on a slot receiver, he has the ability to play man coverage, which is unique because that inside fade ball is the hardest ball. He doesn't have a sideline like a corner that he can utilize. Or in college football, beat to the field where that's a long throw. And so with some quarterbacks, that outside third's never even an issue,
Right.
But that slot receiver now, and you got to be able to run with that guy. And that's Tyke Hill. And, they can run inside fade. They can run all the runaway stuff. And if you want to take that away, just do what Vic Fangio did and leave Miami and go to Philadelphia and get them 4 cats up front.
Yeah, and then you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, all those long developing routes.
Right.
That's no cat. That's why I always tell these guys in recruiting, hey, I'll give you one extra defensive back position if you got a guy that can get after the passer.
What's it like now recruiting? Michael Griffin's son to come to U of A? What was that like, Coach?
Yeah, that was nice to go back and see all those guys. I had a real unique relationship with all those guys back there. And I still say that 06 secondary is as good as any in the country.
Right.
The only one that it would rival would be that 01 Miami, because both of them had a 10. They had four first rounders and a 6, and we had 3 first rounders, a 2 and a 5, and Terrell Brown. You can see his jersey up on my wall. Right. That's his Super Bowl jersey. He played 9 years, but he played with a broken toe and was a 5th-round pick. He was a 2 or 3. But Michael has been great. I've seen his son. I still recruit Lake Travis. We get into Texas. We're going to really improve our footprint in the state of Texas. As you notice, all the DBs we signed were out of Texas. And even when I went to Stanford, they said, Coach Akina, you're still back in Texas? Shoot, Texas DBs paid a lot of bills for me, man. So, we'll always be back there. And you can get just great evaluations out of them because of the live practices, food, pad, spring ball,
Right.
But Griff was a great player for me, in that 06 Rose Bowl. That was a huge interception that kind of flipped Mo in the game in the end.
That was a huge hit for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's natural for fans to compare Jed to Brennan and all that. Working with both, the experience, especially with Brennan now, just the type of coach he is and all that.
Well, Brennan was also part when I was here in the 90s, GA'd for us, him and Michael and David Phipp. And Phipp is considered maybe the best special teams coach in the NFL. And so they were under the same roof. So I remember when Dick stepped down, I went over to see those 2 guys. They were young. I told Donna, my wife, let's go see what the young Lions are up to, and we spent some time. But he has evolved over the years. Obviously, for all of us, Dick Tomey has left a big impression on us and just relating to players. And if you talk to any one of their players, and I'm sure Brennan's in the past with San Jose, the relationship piece is a real deal. Okay. I'm not involved with him on offense and all, but just how he manages the team and the staff. It's a great working environment. Got dealt some tough cards. Let's just say it, coming in, transfer portal, guys leaving here and there. It was very tough, and he managed it, I thought, extremely well. And in the season, you got dealt some tough call, with some injuries, and that's all part of the game. And we just got to keep working to overcome adversity and keep trying to solve the puzzle, as I say. So I think we're going to see a different version this year. Now we're starting to merge into this is his team, his recruits. I've shared this with many people. This season, I've had a couple tough ones like this. You go 45 years, you're going to have seasons like we had this year. 91 season was much the same. We got wiped out. Okay. I mean, it was much like we had to do this year when third down blitz. Well, we don't have enough linemen. Bring out the trash cans. So we're blitzing against the trash cans. Okay. Right. And so when we used to say, okay, scout of the week, well, that left guard trash can gave us a hell of a look, never moved. But next year after that 91 team, everybody came back healthy. We line up.
You knew what was happening.
Football right here, you know.
You knew what was. You knew that freshman class though. You knew what you had coming up though.
Oh, they were. Well, Washington didn't say it. I was sick of that siren. I used to enjoy that siren when I was at Washington. That thing was 50-0.
Right.
So I didn't know exactly what we were getting. Nobody did. All right.
Coach, let me ask you this:
Teddy Bruschi was going to be Teddy Bruschi. Otherwise, he would have been recruited.
93 or 98. Jimino and I have been debating this for probably 20 years now. Who wins? And I get you might not answer that, but 93, 98 Arizona football.
I won't, because I get that same discussion at Texas, the 06 and the 08 team, the Coca-Cola Vince Young teams, you know.
Right.
Both of them were incredible football teams.
Right.
You know, like I said, that 98 team should have been playing for the national championship when I watched Tennessee and Florida State play. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, right. And the thing about it, too, is that you're 1 quarter away against UCLA from that happening.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the team. Cal, who's going to think that in the first half that we're going to miss an extra point, or that on a hitch pass, the ball's going to fall into a corner's hands because we're up 27-0. Now at the end of the game, we had the tiebreaker. You know, we could have kicked the field goal to tie it, and we're champs.
Right.
You know, and I think both of them are great teams. You know, I think that will be a debate that will last a long time. But what I'm just really proud of, if you were to talk about who are the great football teams at the University of Arizona, I'm just really proud that I'm associated with 2 teams that would be in that argument. You know,
for sure.
Much like at Texas, that's the same argument. Now, some of the guys in the 60s, Texas, will talk about those teams, you know, the Darrell Royal teams. But so it's just cool to be in those conversations.
What was the leadership like on the 98 team? I mean, you went with guys like Kelvin, you know, guys like that really just kind of, you know, Tommy talked about it a lot, about the leadership that team had. What was the leadership like on that team?
Well, see, you know, these teams back in the 90s, and I thought we're getting to that with the my first year here, those teams were built on toughness. And you know what I always talk about with incoming freshmen, and then I give it again to the guys that are leaving the room that have an opportunity to maybe play in the NFL. The first job everybody has is to gain the respect of the locker room. That's your number one job as a freshman. And back in the day, and it's still that way, and I've added mental toughness too. People respect physical toughness, and nobody was tougher than Ifan now. I'll tell you what, I couldn't imagine him on a basketball court or setting a screen now. There would have been something, because he was a violent, angry young man. But the thing about it is he had a real infectious personality, much like Brandon Sanders. Okay, see, those things get overlooked. And so when even I'm recruiting a guy, I look for that. Irby, same deal. He, you know, on paper, he'll never play, but he's 5'8". He'll tell you he's 5'9". He's 5'8". But you go watch him stone that USC pulling guard that's 320 pounds. Go watch him run downfield and make an incredible play and just get excited. The team gets excited. It moves to the sidelines. The bench gets excited. It moves up into the stands. You know, guys that haven't, and that was Kelvin Ifan, and that's the kind of guys that we had, guys that loved playing the game, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Coach, what can we expect from the secondary this upcoming season? What are your expectations?
Well, you know, we're doing a lot of the same things. I think getting those core guys back, because I told Johnny my first year here, some of the things we were able to get into coverage-wise, shoot, man. I was surprised we could get to it so early with all the cut system. You know, you see all these runaway routes that somebody on the backside, depending on releases. We were really challenged against Oregon State because conceptually they did as good of a job with all those over runaway routes that you see, unless you can flat out run. You can't run with Bowden, and
Right.
guys like that. So you have to have a system built in. And we were just so far advanced from where I've been. And we put a lot of stuff in the first year that I couldn't get to at Stanford until the second or third year. The same, and Texas, we had some really outstanding players that could just run with some of these guys. But that whole game wasn't as advanced as it is now. Like you say, the evolution of the game. Not only is it the transfer portal, but all the different really challenge a defense now. And then add quarterbacks' legs. That's another wild card in defending. But having guys like Stooks and Genesis and Dalton and Marquise back, I mean, all those reps have been stacked. When you lost that, you had to go back to ground zero. And guys like Dalton Johnson, incredible, that leaves the boundary safety position to have to go in and play inside linebacker for us. But, we had to just piece. I mean, that is just being a great teammate. The unselfishness is the culture that we built in this room, and so that's wonderful having that back. Stooks, when his knee is blown out, he's in the training room, can't play. Season's over. He's telling the trainers, hurry up, I got to get back out there. He's not sulking in the training room. So that culture to me is huge. And that's one of the things when you start talking about transfer portal, guys coming in and going, can't lose the culture on how it's built, the unselfishness, the toughness, willing to put the team first, which you're losing a little bit in today's world. Still finding guys like Dalton, Stooks, Genesis that are willing. Genesis leave his natural safety position to go play nickel, those kinds of things.
Coach, you are a national treasure, and we can't thank you enough for coming on the show, my guy. Very much appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity. Hearing some of these old names from the past always brings a smile to my face.
I love nerding out on this stuff.
Well, you're good now. I could tell even when I was talking about some of these other games, you were nodding. So that's wonderful. I love it.
Right. Appreciate you, Coach. Keep doing it again. We're blessed to have you, my guy.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Coach Duane Akina right there. All right. Hold on. Let's see here. Hold on. There. I'm sorry. I was messing that. My bad. Duane Akina is the man. Very, very happy that Duane Akina is here. We're going to talk about Duane Akina, but first we've got to pay some bills. All right. Welcome. Oh, no, I can't do it this week because I already got. Oh, sorry. I stopped myself.
Oh,
yes.
Dear.
Green Valley Decorative Rock, my friends. Rock, 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 rock. All right. Now, here's the deal with Green Valley Decorative Rock. Scheer, where do they deliver to if you buy like a ton of their stuff?
Alcatraz, Indonesia, Sierra Vista, Oro Val, Marana. Did we figure out, is it Nogales?
What's that? It's Nogales and then north to Oracle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But either way, also, the great thing about it, too, is they got pavers. They got turf. They got all kinds of stuff. And they got, guess what? They got rock. But here's the deal, though. Again, the scurrilous rumor that has been permeated throughout the interwebs that we will not allow to. Yes, it goes to Benson Bisbee. Yes, correct. We will not allow this. There is a Green Valley Decorative Rock in Tucson. We need to be very clear about this. Very, very clear about this. Check it out, Green Valley Decorative Rock. We are a big fan of bike. And Jesse Bridges, keep doing what you're doing.
That was awesome.
He says on Twitter, he says he can't stop thinking about Green Valley Decorative Rock. Well, get in line, buddy. So, anyways, yes, check it out. Very, very good stuff. Now, Eris Dental, my friends. All right, we got a new graphic coming up here. Now, you might say to yourself, and we put this out on Twitter, you might say to yourself, I need a dental implant, but guess what? I can't really refinance my home at this point to be able to afford it. Lan Allen at TucsonImplants.com. Check it out. For $19.97, you can get a implant and the crown. And a lot of times we're talking about like $4,000 or $5,000 type stuff. Or you're going to have to go to like Honduras or something to get it. You're not going to have to go to Honduras. You can go to Eris Dental here. And again, Lan Allen is the man. We very much appreciate Lan. Again, check it out, Tucson Teeth, but also go to Tucson Implants and get that 1997. Again, we're going to have a new graphic. We already put it out on Twitter. Check it out. And again, also help us because it makes us look good for Lan because we're trying to impress Lan. We like Lan. Okay, hey, how about this? Like I said on the postgame, Lan the man with the master plan. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, either way, check it out. All right, now Jesse Bridges says, I'm in the doghouse because I called my wife Green Valley Decorative Rock last night. Ooh, I don't know. That's a good idea. I'm gonna stay out of that one. But yes, okay. All right. You know what? Because we ran a little bit long. I'm gonna pay two more bills here, and then we're gonna get going on here. RJ's Frozen Cactus, my friend. RJ's Frozen Cactus. Now, the NFL is over, but guess what? College basketball is here. RJ's Frozen Cactus is the place to be. Here's the deal, though. A lot of times you go to these places and they're going to charge you like $38 for some craft beer, and then they're just going to tell you, they're like, oh, it's from the French Riviera. That's why you're paying so much. No. At RJ's Frozen Cactus, they have 100 craft beers, and they've got great ones. $2 deals, my friends. Pizza and prime rib. No bad seats in the house. I kid you not. When you go in there, you will be amazed by all the TVs and everything. Matthew Bothwell has been there before. It's one of his favorite spots. Check it out, RJ's Frozen Cactus. And let's say that you're going there and you're going to have some good time with some of your buddies, and you're like, you know what? I want to leave my car there. Guess what? They have a massive parking lot. Keep it there as well. RJ's Frozen Cactus. Again, you will thank me later. Dick Wilson says, going to RJ's after the game Saturday. Very good stuff. Okay, now, Longview. Longview. Andre Veras.
Good human.
When you think success,
yes.
You think Andre Veras.
Yes.
You think Longview Insurance and Investments. That's what you think.
Yes.
And again, but we need to be very clear about something. We cannot endorse Andre Veras, but we can highly recommend it. Personalized, comprehensive financial planning, tailored retirement income strategies, distinctive wealth management solutions, chartered financial consultants. Give him a call. Also, I'm saying, check it out because, again, I am responsible for finding Andre Veras, not Jason Scheer. I am responsible. I claim credit for Andre Veras.
I'll accept it.
It's like finding a 5-star, hidden in like the back gym at Pango's.
Great scouting report.
Yeah, great scouting report. All right, check it out. Longview. Also, Lan Allen in here back. The 1997 price for the implant and the crown. 1997. Get it? National championship. Lan did say this. As great a deal as that is, I will say this, though. That if Arizona wins the national championship this year, it might be bumped up to 2025. Get it? That's when you know. The man with the master plan. Okay, now, all right, now let's talk a little bit about Duane Akina. Scheer, not bad for an old white guy.
No. Look, there's a few people that I just love listening to.
Right.
Zoe, you could talk to Zoe for hours. Duane Akina will sit. He would have been on that show for 4 hours.
Right.
I mean, the guy's forgotten more football than it's just the stories are just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And the thing about it too is that when you watch him and you can just tell, like you said, that dude just loves football. And I thought it was really cool. His memory, though, is amazing. And that's what I was telling you about, too. The guy can remember everything. I mean, when Kelvin came here, Kelvin came over from the basketball team, and everybody remembers Kelvin as a fullback. He started with Duane Akina. So here was your defensive backfield at one point. It was Chris McAllister, Dennis Northcutt, Trung Candidate, and Kelvin Efon. That's not bad. And I don't know. I think Coach is being a little bit modest when he said he gave away Dennis Northcutt because I don't know about that one, Coach. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But either way, that was awesome. We're blessed to have him, though, and I'm excited. Honestly, when I look at this defense, I got a lot of questions about the line, about the linebackers. I feel pretty good about the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, Stooks is, assuming they're healthy, Stooks, Dalton, MGK, clearly there's a reason why Akina wanted him back. They added guys that, there's some questions about it, but like Garnes is solid in my opinion. Cole was really good coming out of San Jose State. I don't worry about the secondary. Genesis, I didn't even mention him.
Right.
I don't worry about the secondary at all. I think Akina joked about it, but he's right. Like the Eagles secondary obviously looks great when you have that defensive line, right? Like that's the key to the defense is, these guys, as good as they are, can't cover for, 30 seconds. The defensive line is going to have to get to the quarterback this season.
Right. Now let's yeah, the defensive line is going to have to get to the quarterback. Let's talk Chase Kennedy for a little bit. The staff has a lot of plans for Chase Kennedy.
Yeah.
Now, again, Chase Kennedy came here and he weighed about as much as me. He's never going to be able to, he's not going to ever be your 255-pound guy. That's not going to be as he is. But at the same time, I think you can also watch him, though, and be like, there's a burst there that not a lot of guys had on the team.
I talked to Danny Gonzalez at the signing day presser when it was over, and I said, who's the guy that we're not talking about enough? And he went through a couple players. It's like, I think this guy's going to be pretty good. And newcomers. He goes, you know what? The answer is Chase Kennedy.
Right.
He's like, we got to find a way to put weight on him. I think he has one of those metabolisms similar to what I have, where it's really hard to put weight on.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, they're going to give him a lot of Baggins cookies.
Yeah. But they're going to use him in a variety of ways. They're going to use him on the line, off the line. They think very highly of him this upcoming season.
Now, also, and then we're going to get to a little bit of basketball, and then Scheer's got to bounce early, though. Scheer, it's a tough job being Scheer. Gets to wake up at 10:25, and then he can leave then at 11:50.
Oh, I was up early. Ask Cody. I tweeted stuff early. You yelled at me today, and I said, no, I tweeted.
No, you were asleep. You went back to sleep, be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I drove Aurora to school at 7:30. I came back. I tweeted some stuff out, and then I went back to bed, and I was back up at 10. So I went to bed at 8 to 10. Ask me what time I went to bed last night.
Well, that's not my fault. That's your fault. That's because did the oxygen tank need to be charged?
I can't sleep lately. I have insomnia.
Oh, you have insomnia? I have the exact opposite.
Yeah, I cannot sleep.
Yeah. Well, either way. Also, now, so with this football team, like I said, I want to ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Oh, I'm nervous.
And again, I get this. This would be a good sheer hedge segment. 5 wins, and you're playing against ASU for a bowl game against you're going into that game. Does that get Brent Brennan year 3?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not bad in my mind.
Right, because I think at that point, then you're at least showing progress and what you need to be able to do at that point.
I think that's the biggest thing. That's the word, Mike. Progress. He has to show progress. He has to show. Look, even if they win 4 games and they're more competitive, I think that'll probably be enough because they can say, look, man, give us one more year. We're right there on the edge. The problem that worries me or that I'm intrigued by, and we've asked Brent this, they took 16 or 19, I don't remember the number, 1-year players in the portal.
Yeah.
Meaning they're going to have to replace 30 guys next season again. So they are very much, I don't want to say all in, but they are very much in the we have to get this thing turned around this season ASAP mode. And it kind of makes me a little leery. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I understand why they did it.
To quote Nipsey Hussle, all money in, baby. All money in, no money out. That's where we're going with this. Yes. Mr. Tyler Warden says, watch Brennan just shock the world, go 8-4. That'd be awesome. Claire Cook. We love Claire Cook on this show, but it is Scheer, not Scheer. Try magnesium. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk about Magic Carpet. Remind me, I got kicked out of Magic Carpet when I was in middle school. Remind me to tell you guys that story. All right, now I got to pay some more bills, though, because we want to make money. Also, by the way, we got a new, we got Pest Solutions, Signature Pest Solutions coming on starting on Saturday. Very excited to have them on, but we also got to pay. We got to take care of the people like Michael Rubin from Swift Mortgage and the Rubin Group. Okay, here's the deal. As we have told you about, the Pima County Lighthouse Down Payment Assistance Program is being released in March. And here's the deal. Funds are limited. That means you want to get pre-qualified now ahead of the release date. See that QR code? Scan it right there. You can get 4% assistance and a below interest market rate. We can potentially get you in with no out-of-pocket. That's how good he is. Usually the assisted programs have a significantly higher interest rates than if you come in your own with the down payment apartment right with Lighthouse, you can get a below market rate. You can't have owned a home in the last 3 years, but there are other programs out there if you can. Special code right now is you can still use Ed Stokes. We're going to change that to Salim Stoudemire tomorrow, but you need to be able to check it out. Michael Rubin, good dude. Let him help you. And again, he can get your rates lower than retailers. He can do a lot of stuff. Cash out refinancing, debt consolidation. Michael Rubin, the Rubin Group at Swift Mortgage and Comfort X.
Hit it, Cody.
X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you.
All right. Now, our good pal Tony Gimino has closed the deal. Now, when you look at Tony Gimino, you're like, man, that's a fly-by-night journalist if I've ever seen one. But at the same time, though, Tony Gimino knows what he's doing because he went and he got his HVAC through Comfort X HVAC. Free routine maintenance for first-time clients, small businesses with big savings built on trust. And if you get their premium package, you can get a 10-year, which is also how long, Scheer?
A decade, people are saying.
That's what they're saying. But also, you got to use code word Wildcats. Make us look better. And again, check it out. All right. Yeah. Use code word Wildcats for 10% off. Oh, they're talking about Po Folks. Oh, Brad the Bully Hudson. Bring that up again, Po Folks. After Scheer signs off, we're going to go down food memory lane. Po Folks. Oh, yummy. I didn't do it. I just went.
It was close. I sent you something just now on X.
Ooh. Hold on. Everybody stay here. This is good.
This is my number. I have like 3 bracket sites I use consistently. This is one of them. He is very accurate. He's in the top like 3 every year in Bracket Matrix. You want to tell the people or should I?
Oh my gosh, you do it while I tweet at my Illinois friends.
My guy, 131 Sports, it's called, does a really good bracket. Has Illinois and Arizona in Seattle as the 4 and the 5. Although, Mike, I will say that Illinois could very much lose that first game because he has them against Will Wade.
Oh yeah, no, that is this is good. This is going to be
Will
good.
Wade, Boswell, and Arizona all in the same pod.
I mean that's amazing, dude. Yeah, I was going to say, who does Rich Carrillo root for in that game?
Oof, good question.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Rich, by the way, be very careful. But yeah, we know. All right, now with Illinois, Arizona, Houston. I'm gonna have. Let's see here. Let's see.
I'm having second thoughts, Mike. I'm having second thoughts.
Oh, hey, Mr. Tyler. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, Mr. Tyler Warden. Oh, this is interesting. He says, Mike, I met Dilly last Saturday, and the first thing I said to him was, how about that Mike Luke? And I confirmed Dilly backs the mic. No, Dilly likes it. I'm telling you.
I hate it. I hate that Dilly's nice. I wish he wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's the crummy part about all of it. But Arizona, you've got a change of opinion.
I don't know, man. The more I look at it, like it is a really hard game for Arizona. Like statistically, analytically, matchup wise.
You just said that you said previous game you liked Houston. So why? Well, you're not changing anything.
I said I liked Arizona, didn't I?
No, you said you liked Houston.
Yeah, I think I'm picking Houston.
All right. So, but either way, this is going to be a good one though. This is going to be if Arizona wins this game, and I was talking with John Brogan or that Putz, and here's where I'm at with this. If Arizona actually wins that game, or if Arizona wins that game, I think you could legitimately start saying if things go right, you can get a 2 seed because
yes, absolutely,
yeah. If you win that game, because then I think you can start saying that you can look at 16-4 being a real possibility. Listen, they're not going to be able to beat. They're not going to beat Iowa State at home. I'm whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But I do believe they can win one of 2. I believe. Listen, they've got to beat They got to beat BYU, Utah, and ASU.
This is how ridiculous the Big 12 is, Mike, because they have Houston on Saturday and freaking Baylor on Monday.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
The Houston wins, cool, and then you turn around and if they beat Houston and Baylor. Right, I think they're a 2 seed. I really do. I think as long as they beat Utah, BYU, and ASU, and don't lose to some crap team in the Big 12 tournament, I think it would be very hard to not make them a 2 seed. I would find out on Saturday what they are as of now. That's stupid.
Interesting.
I love
Interesting. When is this? You said what time is that?
It's at 10:30. It's a horrible idea because it changes by the end of the day, but it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, I would. That will be interesting. But Arizona, though, all right. But here's what I want, though, and then I'll let you go. I need Arizona to avoid. I don't want to be a 4 seed. I don't want to be a 4 seed. Eric Cohen made this point. I don't want to listen. I'll put Arizona up against about any 2 seed in the country. Like Tennessee or all those teams, whatever.
What's wrong with the 5 seed?
Well, I don't want to play Duke in the first in the Sweet 16. There's a couple teams there's about 3 teams in college basketball that I think are clearly better than Arizona. And maybe 2. But I do not want to play Duke, and I do not want to play Auburn in the Sweet 16. I want to do whatever I can to avoid
my guy has Arizona as the 4, with the 1 being Florida.
I'm fine. That's fine.
Florida's a 1 now, by the way. Tennessee dropped out.
Florida's really good. Florida's really good, but again, I don't. Duke is the one that I'm like.
Yeah, I think Tennessee will not be a 1 because they just haven't played well lately.
Yeah, I'm fine playing Tennessee as a. I'm fine playing Tennessee as a 2. I have no problem with that. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah, Florida's a 1. Out of all the 1s, it'd be Duke, Alabama, Auburn, Florida. I would choose Florida, and I think Florida's really good, but I would choose Florida.
Oh, hey, you want to hear some really cool news?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Here. Yeah, okay, then we'll let you go. Who Dax to bear down says Jason needs to get some greens for his sleep. We are closing in, possibly.
Are we?
We are. Yummy in my time. We're up to 9 sponsors now, or partners. We're up to 9 partners now, and we got a couple in the works. So
that's a big one. That's a big one.
That is a big one. Yummy in my tummy. All right, Scheer, where can they find you doing your stuff?
WildcatAuthority.com and the Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby.
Okay. Now, Scheer, I'm going to let, all right, we will talk with you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy picking your daughter up, and then I would assume you're going right back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to pick your daughter up also.
Get out of here. Buzz off. All right, this guy, get him out of here. Get him out of here. We don't want that. Yeah, Mike closing deals. Listen, there's very cool... There's nothing really cool about me, but I will say that going into some of these business meetings, sales meetings are pretty cool. Now we got another one coming on tomorrow. Signature Pest Solutions. Now you might say, Mike Luke. Now this is just a free read. You might just say, Mike Luke, you're a pest. I am a pest, but this is not the kind of pest you want to get rid of. Termites. And again, you've got season coming up where you got bugs and all that stuff. We're going to talk about them more. We got that covered. All right, now I noticed in the comments, let's go down memory lane. Po Folks. Po Folks was my favorite place growing up. I loved Po Folks. I wanted to always go to Po Folks. They had those, those like little like the little games where you got like the little holes in the little pens, or the little like things, and you're like trying to like knock each other out. Those games were awesome. They had those at everyone. Basically, it was like free babysitting for my sister and me. It was a lot of fun. I liked that a lot. Also, Magic Carpet. Magic Carpet was an interesting one because when we were at Gridley Middle School, there was always a debate as to which was the cooler place to end up at, Magic Carpet or Golf and Stuff. I always preferred Golf and Stuff because you had more stuff to do there. You had you had more video games, you had all this stuff. But either way, I got pushed into going to Magic Carpet one time, and there was a Po Folks barbecue sauce, yummy. But I got pushed into going to Magic Carpet, and I was complaining the entire time that this place sucks. It's not, I want to go to Golf and Stuff. And so anyways, a fight broke out between like some other dweebs or whatever. And like they had like security came or whatever they were. And I said, this is actually good for you because this place sucks. It's taking it off the attention that this place sucks. And then the guy threw me out for saying that, even though I had nothing to do with that. So again, I guess sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will hurt me. Yes. Oh, go-kart. Are they also, the bumper boats at Golf and Stuff as well. Are those still there? I kind of wonder if those are still there. I don't know if those are still there or not. Yeah. But either way, it was a lot of fun. Po Folks, very, very good. Very, very good. Yummy in my tummy. Yes. Tucson is missing a water park now. I would agree with that. Okay. Now, we got to pay some more bills. Okay. Now, Baggins. Everybody out there, listen. There were 2 people yesterday that went to Breakers was too far out, Andy. We never got to go out there. Baggins. We need to focus on Baggins here for a second. Everybody put everything down what you're doing. We need to talk Baggins. 12 Arizona locations, locally owned and operated. And again, if you go there and you get something, you've just got to say it now. You got to use code AZ12, my friends, AZ12 for 15% off. You go there. Our good friend Cody James Martin is currently at Baggins. I kid you not. He is operating the show from Baggins. That is how impressive Cody James Martin is and what a community Baggins is. I'm guessing he's scarfing down on a cookie as well. But Baggins, use code AZ12 for 15% off. Again, help us. Make me look good. I need all the help in the world to help me look good. I appreciate you all. Now, also, Arizona Primary Eye Care. Oh, look at it. The screen has gone blank. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Oh, it came back because Arizona Primary Eye Care is here. Go to ArizonaPrimaryEyeCare.com. I have not gotten my Tom Ford glasses yet, but when I do, you will know. And again, I will look much cooler than I normally do. But at the same time, though, they got all kinds of stuff. They got normal glasses. They got designer. And we need to fill up. They got 4 offices. We need to fill up their inventory. We need to get them going. Same-day visits, urgent care, and again, 322-2713-520 area code. Optical options to fit all budgets, styles, preferences. Proud partner of Arizona Athletics. Again, you got 4 locations there. Check it out. You will thank me later. They're great. We love Cheryl on this show. She's a big Arizona Wildcat fan. And again, don't go to one of these places where all your money is going to some guy in like Tallahassee or something. Do it where you're supporting local because we like Tucson. Okay. Now, Arizona basketball, we're going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, obviously. No days off around here. But with Arizona basketball, I am going to back the A on this one. I am worried about this game because I think Houston is really, really good. But girth is going to be needed here. Girth is going to be needed. Feedback says girth is very essential for good bumper boating. That is a good point. I need a girthy bumper boat. That's going to be very important. Nifty Cello says Tucson, Tallahassee. That's why you need to support Arizona Primary Eye Care. But it's going to be an interesting game. There's going to be a lot of intrigue. There's going to be a lot of physicality in play as well. I will give you the prediction though tomorrow. Now, maybe tomorrow too. I'll have my Tom Ford glasses. But anyways, you guys are great. I very much appreciate you. Again, none of this happens without you. Again, pretty excited. Got our ninth partner, and keep pushing that. Anybody out there that's interested, you can always reach out to me on Twitter. Feedback. You need a girthy you in the bumper boat. I mean, I would agree with that. Very, very much. Yes. Grant Winkler, the great Grant Winkler says we got to out girth Houston this game. I couldn't agree more. And also the AZ12 shop is opening up on Sunday. Late Valentine's Day gift. And Jesse Britches, we might need to cheat a little against Houston. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? With all the teams that have cheated against us, what does it mean if we cheat against them? I mean, turnabout's fair play. All right, everybody. Be back with you tomorrow at 10:30. But as always, you're the best. I appreciate you guys more than I can say. Cody James Martin, live from Baggins. Brad the Bully Hudson. And again, we will talk with you soon. TTFN. No, I'm not taking a nap until like 1:30. But TTFN, you've been listening to the AZ12 podcast.